Hey everybody, I'm Jeff Lenosky. I have been getting a ton of questions on my YouTube channel about whether or not I ride clipped in or flat pedals when I film my Trail Boss videos. I have an extensive background in riding trials, and we always do that sport with flat pedals. So my default answer to most people is you can do these moves with any type of pedal. However, whenever I'm out trail riding, I'm always clipped in. I have more control over the bike, and I also love the extra feeling of commitment when you ride a technical section while you're connected to the bike. So since I'm always riding clipped in, but I'm telling you that you can do this stuff on flats, I've decided to put my money where my mouth is. I put some flat pedals on my giant Trance. I'm out here at my favorite local trail called Tiger's Blood. It's a really technical trail. It's something that I ride weekly clipped in. I pulled out 5 different sections. I'm gonna ride this on flats, and I'm gonna give you some tips on what you need to do to make it through on flat pedals versus clips. This is the clips versus flats challenge. This loop is about 15 minutes long and it's very close to my house. It's great having something like this, super convenient for when I want to do back-to-back comparisons. It starts off with a rocky hill climb, and you can make this as easy or as difficult as you want depending on your line choice. So the first tip that I have for riding clipped in versus flats, when you're clipped in, you're going to ride more on the balls of your foot. When you're riding flats, you're going to want to slide your foot further forward and ride more towards the arch. It's going to allow your foot to wrap around the pedal and give you a little bit more control. Now this is zone 1. This is a balance line I wanted to show you. It's a tree that fell down on the side of the trail, and I made up this line myself. You get on, you ride down the length, and you jump off the root ball. When you see from the other angle, riding flat pedals allows you to commit to things a lot more. You don't have to worry about being clipped in, and you can bail out of stuff, so carry over that confidence to when you're clipped in and riding your normal trails. This next move is the one that I get the most questions on. It's called the punch. I did a how-to for this a few months ago, and this one's about handlebar height and off the side of the trail. So when you watch from the side, you can see that I roll into the rock, I'm keeping my momentum going forward, and I'm allowing my chest to get close to the bars so I can push them away from me. Let's watch it one more time in slow motion. My weight is forward, I'm close to the handlebars. That allows me to lift the bike straight up and push it away. When you're doing lower obstacles, it's actually a little bit harder, and what you can do to help lift your back wheel is scoop your feet back and up to lift the rear wheel. Riding flat pedals on technical terrain will teach you to use your upper body and your foot position to maneuver the bike around, so you'll have more control if and when you go back to clips. The third kind of move I wanted to focus on was short technical climbs. It could be rocks or roots, but these could be really challenging. I find it best to run a lower gear than normal and stand up so that I get as much maneuverability over the bike as possible, and since I can't pull up on the pedals, the lower gear really helps me turn the pedals over. This next section is a flat rock garden. From the rider's perspective, it looks pretty easy, but it's not. Here's my tips for getting through this unsuspecting challenge. I like to lower my dropper post about an inch so I can float over the saddle, and then I actually run a harder gear than I normally would, and that allows me to have more pressure on the pedals and keep my feet in place. And then I scoop my butt back and keep pedaling the entire time to keep my forward momentum going. This last section is a chance to string a lot of these moves together. So up and over the rock, you do a 180-degree left turn, and it leads you into a punch up and over a big giant rock. Here's my final flat pedal tip. When I'm climbing, I point my toes down, and when I'm descending, I drop my heels. Changing the angle of your foot really helps keep your feet in place as you ride up and over different obstacles. All right, that is Tiger's Blood. Practicing with flat pedals will definitely help improve your technical riding. Hopefully you find these tips useful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any videos, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new ones. See you on the trail.